Hi Aquarius, how are y'all doing today? Today I'll be doing a reading for the sign of Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, whatever's been resonating with you lately, whatever placements you may have in your chart. This is a reading for August and September of 2020. In the description box you can find my email if you'd like to schedule a personal reading. Please feel free to reach out to me. You can also find my Instagram if you want to follow me on there. Please feel free to give me a follow. You can also find my friend Bree's Instagram. She made all the art for this channel. If you want to see what she's working on, you can check out her stuff on her Instagram. You can also find a couple different links to a few different playlists I've made. I really like making playlists, and if you're interested in finding some new music or you're curious about what I listen to, feel free to check those out. So Aquarius, I was thinking about y'all today because I was planning on doing your reading today, and I was trying to tap into your energy. It's always so hard for me to tap into Aquarius energy. I don't know what it is. Y'all are just so distant. Block me out. I feel like Aquarius, like Gemini, I feel like you're going through some shifts, some transitions as well. Maybe some heavy ones. I feel like things have maybe been up in the air for you. Things have been a little bit like high energy and like chaotic. You haven't been able to settle into anything. I think you're trying to figure out like what kind of, like on a broader scale, like what kind of lifestyle you want to settle into, what kind of things you want to be doing, what it is you're working towards, what you want to spend your day-to-day doing. I feel like Aquarius is trying to find happiness on like a small level right now. I think you're trying to get into a good groove about your day-to-day grind, kind of like what you're doing, things to take care of yourself, things to put you on the right track towards some of your goals. I think you're really like deliberating and sorting out what it is that puts you on the right path, what it is that makes you happy, what it is that makes you feel good on the like most microscopic level of like, what can I do every day? What can I do every day to feel good and feel like I'm moving towards the kind of life that I want to live? So it's like large scale, but it's small scale. Because you're thinking about the big picture, but you got to look at it with a microscope on the smallest scale. Does that make sense? I don't know. That was just some of the energy I was tapping into for Aquarius. Y'all are a tough nut to crack. It's hard for me to get into that energy. But that's kind of what I'm picking up on. I like gather the energy from Aquarius placements I know in my life. Kind of intuitive downloads. And also, I watch readings for all the signs just to get a better idea of who the signs are and what's going on with them planetarily and, spiritually. And so I usually get, like, downloads through those mediums. And so that's kind of what I picked up on for Aquarius, but y'all are always the hardest for me to tap into. But yeah, that's what I got for you. So let's get into the reading. See what's up for y'all for August and September. Sometimes I like to just switch it up and do a reading outside because either I get more privacy outside or it's really nice out and I want to take advantage. But there's always the wind as a factor. It might get a little breezy. Aquarius. Any messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, whatever placements for the months of August and September of 2020. Messages for Aquarius for August and September of 2020. Messages of love, truth, healing, light, clarity, hope, forgiveness, stability, happiness, positivity. Messages for Aquarius. I'll take that. The Nine of Wands. I feel like that card has been coming up a lot for the signs, for all the signs. Messages for Aquarius. Alright, I think I'm just gonna pull. Well, I'll take that one. Ooh, the High Priestess. Yeah, I'm gonna pull from there. Aquarius. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we have the... I'm sorry, it's just so interesting how whenever I do the Aquarius reading, I just, like, mellow out. I don't know what it is. My voice gets softer. I get way more, like, objective and detached about it. Maybe it's just because I really don't have any Aquarius in my chart, but I just feel, like, so removed, relaxed, calm and cool, very air sign, very Aquarius. I just noticed that. I'm always like that during the Aquarius readings. I'm just reading it like it is. Okay, so Aquarius, we have the Nine of Cups as the overall energy for you. Then we have the Nine of Wands, another 9. The High Priestess, the Empress, the Ten of Wands reversed, the Hermit, and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Right away, really quick, I'm getting that, like, you're on this path of you're trying to figure it out, what it is you want and what's going to ultimately make you happy. What is your dream? What is it that's going to make your dreams come true? What is it that brings you fulfillment and happiness? You're trying to figure that out. It's like maybe you have a lot of things in order, but there's like one cup that's missing. There's something missing from your life. Or you're just trying to figure out what works best for you, what feels good for you, what it is you want, what kind of life you envision. A lot of what I was talking about in the download. I think that you're coming into some fulfillment of some sort. I think you're getting really close to the end all be all. I don't think there's ever like an end point. I don't think that there's an end goal with happiness. I think that life is a journey that you're constantly on, where you're finding happiness in a lot of different things, and you know, your journey is never done. You're never like at an end goal. There's always more ways to keep going and keep exploring and keep discovering and keep growing. But I think that you're making bounds and leaps towards your happiness. I think you're making really positive, strong decisions about moving towards what you want, what you dream about, what brings you a lot of happiness. It's the Nine of Cups. But really quick, I'm getting like kind of closed off, feeling really heavy and burdened, going into hermit mode, going isolation, and then missing an opportunity of some sort. Just a really quick overview. But I'm going to get into it to explain it more, because I feel like it makes more sense as I go along. But with the Nine of Wands, I feel like for maybe a long time now, you've been in a space where you feel really protective and guarded of maybe yourself, or maybe more of like a physical sense of, I'm protecting what I've built, I'm protecting the things that I've gained, the things that I've obtained, I'm protecting the success that I've gained. I've worked really hard to get to this point, and I want to protect it, and maybe that has caused a bit of stagnancy. Maybe you've worked really hard to get to a certain point, and you're just feeling so paranoid about losing it in some way, or tripping up, or falling behind, or moving backwards, taking steps backwards. So you've stopped, and you're protecting that, and it's preventing you from moving forward and continuing to grow and continuing on the journey. I think you're in this space where you're so protective of what you've gained and how far you've come and what you've earned, that you're not moving forward because you're putting all of your energy into protecting what it is you have earned so far. Does that make sense? You're not moving forward because you're putting all your energy into just holding down what you already have. You're not looking forward to what's the next step. How can I grow even further from this? Where can I go from here? You're really just focused on protecting what you have right now. Holding down what you have right now. That's interesting, Aquarius. That's what I'm picking up on. With the High Priestess and the Empress, it's like you're trying to tap into your intuition. The Empress has been coming out in a lot of readings too for August, September. I think with the High Priestess, you're trying to tap into your intuition, and you're trying to ask yourself, okay, like, what should I do? What should my next move be? Your intuition's nagging at you like, I know this isn't the end all be all. I know this isn't endgame. I know this isn't where I should be sitting down and plopping down and hunkering down. I know I shouldn't be staying here. And your intuition is trying to nudge you, saying you're not meant to stay here. Your intuition is trying to tell you it's time to grow. The Empress has a lot to do with personal growth. The Empress has a lot to do with, like, there's more to explore, there's more to discover. That's what I'm picking up on. Yeah, I think your intuition is nudging at you, like, why are you still here? You gotta keep moving forward. You gotta keep moving forward. I'm gonna get some clarification. I'm gonna get a clarification for the High Priestess. Can I get a clarification for the High Priestess? That was too many. Can I get a clarification for the High Priestess for Aquarius? Someone is barbecuing and it smells really good, and it's stupid crazy because I don't even eat meat, but when people are barbecuing, I think it smells so good. Maybe I'm just hungry. Clarification for the High Priestess for Aquarius. Clarification for the High Priestess for Aquarius. Clarification for the High Priestess for Aquarius. The Lover's reversed. Oh, baby. So, I think not only is your intuition telling you it's time to grow, I think your intuition's also telling you that wherever you've hunkered down, whatever you're protecting, whatever you're trying to hold down, I think it's also, your intuition's trying to nudge you at, like, this isn't really where you're supposed to be. Like, this isn't a good place for you, because I think the people around you are not people that you should be around. I think you've hunkered down in a place where, maybe you've hunkered down in a place that is preventing you from growing because of the people that you're surrounded by. I think you're surrounded by a lot of people that don't line up with you values-wise. Y'all don't have the same foundational beliefs and ideas and values. I think your intuition is trying to nudge at you, and they're trying to test you. Your intuition's trying to test you. Maybe you feel really secure and kind of, as paranoid as you are, you may feel secure and safe in this place right now. But your intuition's getting at you, and it's starting to come to the surface, and it's trying to test you with your values. It's trying to show you that the people around you are not your people. It's trying to show you that the people around you are not on the same level as you. I think it's really trying to push you towards, it's time to grow, because you're outgrowing the people around you. You're not on the same page as them anymore. You don't have the same values. You don't have the same visions about where you're going. I think you're surrounded by people who are trying to stay stuck in the same place. I think you're also surrounded by people who are paranoid and possessive about what they have and not open and willing to share. And that's kind of influenced you and made you into a person right now who is very much like that too, where you're paranoid about what you have, about losing what you have, and you're scared to kind of move on from this place, move on from these people. You're scared to grow. I think it's really time for you to grow. With the High Priestess, I think you're stuck here. The High Priestess and the Empress is like, baby, it's time to grow. It's time to move up and on. Your higher self is trying to get at you. Your higher self is trying to tap into your subconscious and tell you that the people around you don't have the same values as you. Y'all are not lined up in that aspect. The environment you're in is not full of people that are like you. The place that you're in is stunting your growth and holding you back, and it's time to grow. It's time to move on to much more beautiful things. It's time to step into a more creatively open space where you have an open mind, open heart. I think you're really closed off right now. I think you're really defensive right now. I think you may even be defensive where it's like, someone might come to you and try to say like, hey, have you ever thought about moving here? Have you ever thought about doing this kind of job? Have you ever thought about maybe being a manager? You're at the job you're at and someone's like, have you ever thought maybe about being a manager? I think you'd be good at that. And you're like, oh, no. No, thanks. What? Aquarius, come on. People see the potential in you, and people around you, there's some people around you that are really bad for you and are stunting your growth, but there's also others that are like, maybe some of the same people that are like, why are you still here? Like, how are you not further along by now? Do you know what I mean? I think some of the people around you are starting to recognize, like, you're meant to, like, be more and do more than this. Why are you staying here? Why are you staying in this town? Why are you staying at this job? Why are you staying in this position? Like, they see it in you. They see your potential. But you're stuck here. You've kind of like hunkered down and got comfortable, and I think you're afraid to grow because you're afraid of fucking up and failing when you make that step. You're afraid of tripping up when you make that step and losing the progress you made. It's like you're on a tile and you're afraid that when you step off that tile to the next tile, you're going to lose that last one. So if you step onto this new tile and that one falls through, you won't have that other one to go back to either. That's completely understandable. That's super understandable. But at the same time, it's a lot of untrue fear-based bullshit. I think that, Aquarius, you may have this misconception, this perception, this false perception that you can't go back, that if you take a step forward and you misstep, and you fuck up, you fail, you trip up, that's it, and you have to go back to square one. That, like, you take that step and you take that risk, and if that doesn't go well, you have to go back to the beginning. I don't think that's true. And I understand your fear and your paralyzation right now, maybe, but your intuition is really like, baby, it's time to grow. Whether or not you're scared, whether or not the future looks bright and clear, whether or not you're aware and you know what the next step you want to take is, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know where you want to go next. Maybe you don't know how you're going to grow. But your intuition's trying to get you to, like, really see. I think they're testing you. I think there's going to be some things coming up, some events happening that try to get you to open your eyes to how not right the people and environment you're in right now is. I think there's going to be, your intuition's going to try to test you. Universe is going to try to test you. And you're going to be seeing some things really soon, maybe the next couple weeks, that really reveal to you, oh, these aren't my people. This isn't my place. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. You're really going to have your eyes opened. I'm totally getting this download right now. I think your eyes are really going to be opened to understanding why you need to move on. I think your mind's really going to be open to, it's going to be revealed to you. It's going to become really clear to you that you're outgrowing this place, this job, these people. It's going to become really clear that your values are misaligned with those around you. It's going to become really clear that the place that you're in, the job that you're in, maybe the mission of the company or the organization, you're going to realize, oh, I don't like this. This isn't me. The goals of this company do not align with mine. The life goals of these people that I'm surrounded by, my friends, my family, my peers, my coworkers, these people don't see what I see. They don't have the same visions as me. Maybe these are really, like, people that don't think about their futures like you do. And I think you're gonna start to really see that. It's gonna become really clear to you in the next couple weeks that, like, it's time to grow because you're outgrowing the environment you're in. You're outgrowing the people around you. That was a lot, Aquarius. That was a lot. And that's only the first 3 cards. Okay, so yeah, and I think that the place that you're in right now is really heavy and burdensome. I think that you're holding on so tightly, and it's taking so much energy to stay in this place. It's taking so much energy to keep grinding at this thing that you're grinding at, to keep going on this life path that you're on right now, to keep moving within this lifestyle that you're in right now. I think you're really hunkered down in it, and it's taking up all your energy, but, like, it's like you're refusing to let it go. You're refusing to drop it. You're refusing to release that burden when you so much possibly can. There's so much that you can do in the situation that you're in. You have the capability to drop this burden and move forward so that you can grow. I think that you're stuck in this place where you, like, there may be something that you're really holding on to because you really thought that it was going to work out. You really thought that this was where you were supposed to end up. This was it for you. Like, this is a good place to be, and you're comfortable here, and you're, like, holding on to it really tightly, and you're like, no, this is going to work out. I'm going to make sure of it. This is going to take me to where I need to be. But it's like you're stressing yourself out. You're tiring yourself out. You're burning yourself out by holding on to this really tightly, by staying in this place that's not serving you anymore. Does that make sense? I think it's like your intuition is trying to tell you that it's time to let go, but you're like, no. You're saying no. You're refusing. I think that your intuition's gonna get louder and louder and louder until you decide to listen, until you finally decide to drop this shit, to drop these people, drop this job, say fuck it, I quit. Be careful, do things to the best of your financial situation. Be careful, be smart. But I think that you're holding on to a lot of things so tightly, and I think that there's gonna be a lot that you're gonna need to let go of soon because you're like refusing to drop this burden. There may be things that you really don't need to hold on to. There may be things that you're putting a lot of time and energy into that you don't need to, that aren't serving you, that aren't helping you grow. They're only holding you back. And Aquarius, I think it has to do a lot with the people around you. The whole, people around you don't have the same values as you. They're not on the same page as you. They don't see into the future like you do. They don't have the same vision for the future like you do. I think the Hermit card is saying, it's about the people around you, and I think it's time for you to go inward and spend some time alone and isolate yourself. This could be even about a relationship. This could be about just a very personal relationship where it's going to be revealed to you really soon. It's going to become really clear about how you and this person, your values aren't on the same page. Your values aren't aligned anymore, and your intuition's going to try to nudge you like, this person is stunting your growth. You're trying to grow, and you're trying to hold on to this relationship that is such a heavy burden. You're trying to hold on to it, and you're refusing to let it go. You're refusing to let it go. But your intuition is nagging at you, making you think about, what are my values, and are the people around me on the same page as me? And you're really starting to think deeply about what it is you want. What matters to you, what's going to make you fulfilled and happy, what's going to make you feel successful. With the Hermit card, it's like your intuition's trying to tell you that it's time to go inward. It's time to do some self-reflection. It's time to go on a self-discovery journey. Aquarius, I think it might have been a long time for you since you've done some internal work. I think you may have been avoiding it. I think you may have been putting a lot of energy into work or relationships, and you maybe have kind of avoided yourself for a while. But I think that your intuition is trying to tell you that it's time to go inward, because it's time to do some self-discovery about what are my values and why are they not aligned with the people around me? Why am I in an environment where I don't feel like I'm on the same page as the people around me, where I don't feel like I fit in, where I don't feel like I have the same goals as the people around me? Why is it me and my partner are have completely different lifestyles, have completely different life goals we're moving towards? I think you really need to go inward and have this self-discovery kind of journey. I think you need to take some time out to do some self-reflecting. I think you need to take some time out to think about what it is you want. What do you want to move towards? What's going to make you happy? What matters to you? What do you value? What kind of people do you want to be around? What kind of environment do you want to be in? What kind of work do you want to be doing? Do you want to change jobs into a field that aligns a lot more with what you want to bring into the world? What kind of legacy you want to leave behind? Do you want to start surrounding yourself with new people who are more motivated and driven and want to bring into the world the same things that you do, want to leave behind the same kind of legacy that you do? Maybe you need to go inward and figure out why you and your partner are not on the same page, and figure out if this is something worth keeping, if this is a relationship worth exploring some more, if you and this person can find some common ground, or if you really just don't have the same values. Because in my personal opinion, shared foundational beliefs, shared foundational values are what make a really strong relationship. When two people come together and they deeply value the same things, they want to see the same changes in the world, they have the same morals, they have the same kind of ethics, they have the same ways they see the world and how it should work, and what they want for humanity, on a very deep level. I think that's what makes a really strong partnership. And that's why I get so confused when people are really close friends with or in a relationship with someone who they like don't even share the same values. I'm like, how does that work? Like, I understand that two people can be very different and be very in love and like very much in harmony, you know, a lot of things can balance out. But when you don't have that like same foundational, like, I believe that the world should be like this. I believe that all people should have these things as a way of life. I believe that um, this is what most people should do to have like the most basic fundamental values are what make a strong partnership. And I think you're really going to be realizing when you go into this hermit mode, when you go into this self-reflective period, I think you're really going to be realizing like why you're not on the same page with your partner or your close friendships or your circle. Why are those values misaligned? Like, what it is you believe. You're trying to figure out, like, what is it that I believe? What do I care about? What makes me happy? What makes me fulfilled? What am I working towards? And then you're going to be like, oh, because the people I'm around don't share that same vision. Maybe the people I'm around just, like, aren't motivated. Like, Aquarius, I know that Aquarius have, like, big dreams and goals, and y'all want to change the world, and I love that about Aquarius. And I think you maybe hang around people who, like, you know, just get through the day-to-day, sit on the couch, work at a dead-end job. They're just like, yep, this is fine. That's not you, Aquarius. You're meant for more. You're meant to grow. And I think that the people that you're around are really holding you back. And I think it's time to go into self-reflection mode, go into a period of spending some time alone, because I think, one, you need to separate yourself from these people because they're really influencing you and clouding your judgment and making you hunker down into a place that you're not meant to be. They're stunting your growth. They're holding you back a little bit. And I think you also just need to spend some time alone away from these people so you can really think about, okay, what is it that I value? What is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to be? And I think the reason that you're hesitant to drop this burden and go into this hermit mode and spend some time alone is because I think you're fearful that you're going to miss out on some opportunity. I think you're fearful that there's something that you're gonna miss if you go away and you go into a period of some isolation. But I want to let you know that going into like a self-reflective kind of like isolating yourself period is so healthy. It really, like, as long as you don't stay there too long, it can be so healthy and so good for the soul to just really spend some quality time with yourself, get to know yourself better. Like, not just for like after you break up with someone, like, it's so important to really make time for yourself to sit and reflect on your own thoughts. Because there are so many people walking around in this world who have like zero self-awareness. They have no idea who they are, no idea what their beliefs are, no idea what their values are, and then they end up in these partnerships or these close friendships, and they end up hanging out with people who don't have the same values as them because they have no idea what their values are. Aquarius, I'm not saying you have no idea who you are, but there may be some lack of clarity, there may be some lack of understanding about the core of yourself. And I think that spending some time away is going to help you do that. Spending some time alone is going to help you do that. But I think that you're fearful of missing out on some kind of opportunity. I think you also might be fearful that this is not going to be beneficial to you. I think that you're hesitant to go into this hermit mode because you're worried that it's not going to like give you the ideas, it's not going to give you the clarity, it's not going to give you the spark that you need to keep going, it's not going to give you the foundation that you need. Maybe you're fearful of falling off track and like moving away from the job that you're in right now because you're afraid that it's going to make you miss out on some kind of material or financial opportunity, or you're going to lose some money. I think it could also be that when you do go into this isolation period, you're going to realize that a lot of your decisions you made, a lot of your close relationships, the circle that you're in, your close your partnership, I think you're going to be realizing that it was on shaky ground to begin with. There was no solid foundation there. There was a misalignment of basic foundational values, and that's why you feel out of place. That's why you feel stunted from growing right now. That's why you feel stuck and held back. That's why you feel so stuck in this place right now. I think this hermit mode that you go into is going to help you realize that a lot of the the things in your life are not on solid foundations, are not on solid grounds. Does that make sense? I think you're going to come to realization that some of your close relationships are not built on a solid foundation, and that's why they're not helping you grow, because the strongest relationships are the ones that you can grow in and y'all grow together. The strongest friendships are the ones where you push each other to grow and be your best selves. And I think you're realizing, or you're going to come into this realization when you do some internal work. You're going to come to this realization that a lot of your relationships were built on really shaky ground. They weren't built on solid foundations. They weren't built on shared values. Yeah. And I think this is all part of a journey that you're on, where you're really trying to do some self-discovery to figure out like what it is that you want, what it is you value, what it is you care about, what's going to bring you fulfillment, what's going to make you happy. Yeah, this really speaks to the downloads I was getting. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? What can put you towards your goals? Like, what in the day-to-day is going to make you better? If it means cutting off some people that aren't good for you anymore, not even that they're bad people, it's just that they're the kind of people that you just want to spend less time with so that you can spend more time with yourself. Maybe you spend way too much time with a certain group of friends that y'all just sit around when you're together. You really need to surround yourself with people that are really in alignment with your values. And, if you're hanging out with people who sit around all day, you just should maybe think about spending less time with them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, like, completely cut them out of your life. It's just that you have to make more time for yourself and relationships that really serve you, because your environment is everything. The people that you choose to hang around completely influence you and your goals. If you are hanging around people that have no motivation, have no goals, are not going anywhere, don't have any plans for themselves, then that's how you're going to be too. You know what I mean? They have a direct influence on you. And I think these people are starting to stunt your growth, and you're starting to realize that. I think you're starting to realize that. I'm going to pull some cards of advice for you. I don't know why I went for this kind of shuffle, but yeah, I'm going to pull some cards of advice for you, Aquarius. 3 cards of advice for Aquarius for August and September of 2020. 3 cards of advice for Aquarius pertaining to this spread. Just one. Might pull the other ones. Or not. Oh, baby. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. One more card of advice for Aquarius. Yeah. Alright, so we got the Queen of Wands reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and the 10 of Cups reversed. Aquarius, I think this is really telling you to stop taking a back seat and feeling like you can't dictate decisions for your life. I think you're in a place right now where you're not feeling very confident or like bold enough to make bold decisions. I think you're feeling like a little bit like not like yourself, and like socially like you don't have a lot of power or influence, or I think you're taking too much of a influence from other people and forgetting that you're Aquarius and you're a trendsetter, and the way that you are and your spirit and your energy has such a powerful influence on others, and I think you've forgotten that. I think you've taken a back seat socially and you're letting too many other people influence you instead of the other way around. And I think you need to step into your Queen of Wands upright energy, and you're in a place of taking such a back seat where you're feeling a lack of confidence. Maybe you don't feel confident enough to make these changes and make these decisions. Maybe you don't feel like you have a lot of social power right now, but I think this could also speak about taking a step back from like your dominant social self and turning inward and going into that self-reflective period where you remember that you don't need to be this like shining beam of light in your social circles. You can take some time out and like be alone. like, everybody makes jokes like Aquarius is like all isolated and brooding and like alone in the corner, but I think Aquarius is one of those people that's like friends with everybody, but that's not always a good thing. Being friends with everybody is great and friendly and fun, but it also makes you attract a lot of really negative energies and a lot of people that you really shouldn't be friends with. It can make you attract a lot of people that you should stay acquainted with and not anything more than that. And I think that this Queen of Wands reverse is telling you to take a step back, not worry about your social status right now. If people are like, oh, why you stop hanging out with us, blah blah blah, you're trying to better yourself, and real friends would respect that. Real friends would respect your need for some time out. And I think it's also, the Wheel of Fortune reverse is like warning you, if you don't make some changes for yourself, if you don't make some decisions to step up and grow, if you don't make some decisions to change who you hang around so that you're changing up your influence, your circle of influence, the universe is going to decide for you, and it's not going to be good. I think that the Wheel of Fortune reverse can speak a lot about bad karma. And I think if you sit in this place that you're in for too much longer, the universe is going to change things for you, and it's not going to be in the way that you want, and you're going to regret it a little bit. You're going to regret not doing something sooner. You're going to regret the self-imposed restrictions that you've been in. You're going to regret this place you settled into. Instead of listening to your intuition, instead of listening to your intuition that's telling you it's time to grow, and making a decision about that, and taking some action to change that, I think the Wheel of Fortune reversed is warning you, like, if you don't make a decision, the universe will for you, and it might not be one that you like. Something might happen that will force you to make change. Something might happen that will force you to see the truth and force you to grow. And that can be much more painful than if you see it now and take the initiative now to make changes in your life. And I think with the Ten of Cups reversed, it's like, it may be tough at first. You may be unhappy at first. Maybe you really don't like spending time alone. Maybe you really don't want to take that next step. Maybe you're really comfortable where you are. But it's like, are you really happy here? Is this really your end-all be-all? And just because this next step might be painful and chaotic or stressful or a bit of a struggle, just because the next phase of your life might be scary and a bit of a struggle, it doesn't mean that the Ten of Cups isn't in store for you. Just because this next phase of your life isn't the perfect Ten of Cups, I have everything I want, I'm emotionally fulfilled, yada yada yada, this is everything I wanted. Just because that's not the next stage of your life doesn't mean that that's not what's in store for you. Not every moment, not every phase of your life can be perfect and happy. And I think you've been in this place so long where you're like, this is good, I'm fine, I'm satisfied, this is sufficient, this is good enough. But it's like, is this your Ten of Cups? And it's reminding you, like, not every phase of life is going to be that Ten of Cups, but you need to move and grow so that you can get there. Does that make sense? You need to make some changes before the universe does for you, or else you're going to be really unhappy. Or else you're really going to be in a place of dissatisfaction and surrounded by awful people. So be careful. I'm not trying to scare you. Just be careful. Be mindful about who you surround yourself with. Be mindful about the growth that you need to do, about the changes that you need to make, about the burdens you need to drop, about the self-reflection that you need to do. Be thoughtful about what it is you want and what makes you happy and fulfilled. Take a step back socially, maybe. Spend some time alone. You don't need to be in a place of social clout and power all the time. And also, like, you shouldn't be letting so many people influence you. It should be the other way around. You should be a shining light of Aquarius, trend-setting, life-changing energy that you are, and influencing those around you to better themselves. Because that's what you should want from your friends, right? Don't you want to be surrounded by people who make you want to be a better you? Isn't that what you want to be for others too? And remember that not every period of life is going to be happy and perfect, but the growth periods are the most necessary, and they are the journeys that we need to be on to get to our Ten of Cups, to get to our emotional happy fulfillment where we feel satisfied and content. Aquarius, this was a really long, beautiful reading. I really love this for you. I really liked all of these messages. I really hope that you got something out of this. I hope this resonated with you in some way. If it did, please leave comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. Again, in my description box, you can find my email. If you'd like to schedule a personal reading with me, please feel free to do so. Please feel free to reach out to me. You can also find my Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow. You can also find my friend Bree, who made the channel art for this channel. Her Instagram is in the description box. You can also find a couple different links to a couple different playlists I made. I really like making playlists and I love music, so if you also love music, if you're curious about what I listen to, or you're interested in finding some new stuff to listen to, feel free to check those out. Again, Aquarius, I hope you love this reading. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Leo season. I hope you have a great Virgo season, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you for watching.